Nawa, neat. A Delaware and call it the dub, and I'm a pass for Schlesingnu. Johan Echohawk Atkinson, DYU, Lachibu, Deptegu, Maskatla, Alaska, Diwatu. Tutasa, Kitkahaki, Pawnee Nation. I said, hey. The literal translation is, hello, how are you? I am very happy to be here. I have traveled very far to come to this land and share a part of my culture, my stories, and a song. I am of the Wolf Clan of the Tsimshian Nation from Metlakatla, Alaska. I'm from the Kitkahaki Band, the Pawnee Nation from Pawnee, Oklahoma. And to get here, it was a journey. My village. There should be a dot inside of this island, but there isn't. We are the only native reservation in the state of Alaska, the Tsimshian people. We have a casino. It is a small village on an isolated island. The only way to my island is by boat or plane. Once you are on my island, you have to wait the next day until the next boat or plane comes to my island. As most villages, we have one store owned by a local family. So when I come to a city, when I get off the jet and leave the building and travel very far from my sons and come here, the first thing on my mind is, how far is it to Taco Bell? Because we don't have those luxuries in my village. We don't have a Walmart. We don't have McDonald's. But I'm very honored to be here to be able to share part of my culture. Because as you all know, it is Native American Heritage Month. To honor all the indigenous peoples of this world. The Nupiaq, the Aleut, the Tsimshian, the Tlingit, the Yupik, Athabaskan, the Haida. To honor all the Tsimshian, or all the indigenous people of this world. So I am wearing my traditional regalia. I am a traditional dancer in my village. My sons are singers and drummers. And I only put on my regalia for special occasions. I only put on my regalia when my heart and mind are good. And I could come on this land. The fact that I was invited on this land to share a part of my culture, to share my stories. I was very honored. I'm very honored to be on this land. And as soon as I stepped foot on this land, I gave thanks for the hospitality. And for this land has always taken care of the people here. I always say, we have not lived here for 10,000 years. We thrived here for 10,000 years. Over my heart is my family crest from the Pawnee Nation. It is a hawk. My family's name from Pawnee, Oklahoma are the Echohawks. My great-great-grandfather had one name. No first name, no last name. His one name was Echohawk. His whole entire life. So my family, that is my family's last name. My mother, Hilaire Echohawk. I'm staying with my uncle, Harold Echohawk. So I wear this hawk, my family crest, over my heart. My great-great-grandfather received that name because he was always doing good deeds in his community, in his Pawnee village. This was before the Trail of Tears. My Pawnee people were originally from Nebraska, before the United States government made us walk the Trail of Tears. And when we were in Nebraska, my great-great-grandfather, when he was 19 years old, he was always doing good deeds in his community. And he did it by himself without being asked. And he did it for so long and so much that when he left his community, his good deeds still echoed through the community. So the elders and the chiefs of the Pawnee tribe, they gave him that name, Echohawk. I'm also from Lachibu, the Wolf Clan of the Tsimshian people of Metlakatla, Alaska. I'm Wolf Clan because my mother is Wolf Clan. The Tsimshian people have 4 clans: the Eagle, Raven, Wolf, and Kilauea. I am Wolf Clan because my mother is Wolf Clan. My sons are Eagle Clan because their mother is Eagle Clan. My father is Raven Clan because my grandmother is Raven Clan. I wear the wolf crest on my back for when I dance, when I travel. Let people know I'm from the Tsimshian Nation and I'm Lucky Boo. I am Wolf Clan. Because I'm a traditional dancer, I have dance leggings. On my left leg, the Tsimshian Hawk, to honor my Echo Hawk family. Many of my Echo Hawk family are dancers as well, down in lower 48. I have a wolf on my right legging to honor my mother's clan. Because when I was young, same age as these young children here, I remember my mom telling me, Johan, you, as a child, remember, you are sacred. Your life is beautiful. But I was a young kid, I didn't really understand what that meant until I was a man. And she would also tell me, Johan, our women are sacred. Honor our women. And again, I didn't really understand what that meant until I was a man. And then I smartened up. And then I started to understand who I was as a man, as a father, as an uncle, as a brother. I would not be Wolf Clan if it wasn't for a woman. If it wasn't for my mom. My sons would not be Eagle Clan if it wasn't for a woman. My father would not be Raven Clan if it wasn't for a woman. It is taught and well known in my Tsimshian village. Women do not only give us life, but they give us identity. I honor my sister. I honor my mother, my aunties, and my grandmother. And every woman that is in my circle, I honor them. And as a man, I take that stand to be able to do what I can to make my community safe and healthy and strong. So I wanted to tell a story tonight, but I wanted to ask the young people, what story did I tell today? Was it the box of songs? Or was it the hey ya hatta hey, hey ya hatta hey? That one? So, first, before I share a story, it is custom in my culture to share a song. As I said, my sons are singers and drummers. I sing and drum as well, but not all the time. I'm a dancer. And I left my drumstick in the vehicle. That is okay. Us indigenous people, we adapt to all situations. So the song is a celebration song. Every single Wednesday, I was telling the young people today in the schools, every single Wednesday, we gather in my Tsimshian longhouse, and the grade schoolers, middle schoolers, and high schoolers. We celebrate our culture, and we tell stories just like this. And we sing our songs, speak our language. And my sons, my youngest is in 7th grade. I just adopted another son, which I love him with my whole heart. He moved into my home last month. He's freshman. And I have a high schooler, sophomore. And this is our favorite song. Every time we travel, we sing it. We went to Anchorage last month. We went on top floor, 3rd floor of the mall, and we sang the song as loud as we can. So when we sing that song with my sons, and we got 16 drummers in our group, their voices sound beautiful, united, powerful. Fill up any space with our healing, strengthening culture. And when they sing that song, my sons and our dance group sing that song, I dance. And when the men dance, we show our strength because we dance hard and we dance with everything we have. Because we dance for our elders who cannot dance. We dance for our young people who are learning how to dance. And every single time the drum beat happens, the drum beat hits, the men, they get low. And we stay low. We raise our hands up. We stay low for the whole entire song. Sometimes we have like 5 dance groups going. 8 songs apiece. I got beads of sweat coming down trying to keep up with the young people. It is hard, but I give it my all because that is what's expected. To bring back what was lost, our culture, our stories. Just like this. This is such a beautiful thing. And the Toexism. Dada Chikstehu, thank you. Thank you, and Pawnee and then Tsimshian for sharing your words. This beautiful thing. I was very honored to hear those words, and I want to acknowledge them. I want to acknowledge how powerful. So hey, Hate Hey is a story that you want to hear again, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
There was another one that I wanted to share too, called The Box of Songs. And every time I'm around the young people, I want to share as many stories as I can. So the story is a very old Tsimshian story called The Box of Songs. It was one of the first stories that I learned. One of the first stories I started telling when I became a storyteller. I'm curious if this will work. It will. Long ago, when the world was just created, in my Tsimshian culture, they say that the earth was very different. In fact, the sky was a lot lower than what it is today. And in my culture, in my stories, we have Raven the trickster. We all have heard of Raven the trickster, releasing the sun and the moon and the stars. Well, when Raven is not Raven, he can transform into anything he wants. And in this story, he transformed into what I call a Tsimshian superhero. He has magical powers. He can fly. He can change to anything he wants. And his name is Clamsham. Can you all say Clamsham? Clamsham. He's a powerful man, very tall, magical powers. Well, one day, Clamsham was walking around in the world. But he had to walk like this, because the sky was right there on his back. And the only time he could stretch his back out was when he would lay down and, oh, it felt so good. But that day he had enough. He said, that's enough. The sky is too low. So, he went and found the biggest stick he could find. And he put it on the sky. And he counted to 3. Cool, Kupol, Kuli, whoosh! He pushed the sky up to where we see it now. Poof! But something happened that Clamsham did not anticipate. Something happened that nobody wanted to happen. The box of all the beautiful songs of the world accidentally got stuck with the sky and went up with the sky. There was no more beautiful songs in this world. The flute player's song now sounded like this. Nothing. Everybody was sad. When they would try and sing, it would sound like this. Nothing. Everybody was heartbroken. All the adults, children, animals, they walked around, and all they could say was, "Wah!" And when everybody was sad and crying, big alligator tears, the birds of this world came down. Blue jay, eagle, raven, albatross, puffin, hawk, owl, all the birds, even tiny little chickadee, about this big. Wings were about half that size. But he came down, and they said, "We will go up and get these songs. We will save the day. We will bring all these songs back." Eagle said, "I will go up and get these songs. I will save the day. Look at this wingspan. You need strength." Hawk said, "No, no, no, I will get these songs. I am the fastest. You need speed." Raven said, "I will get them." Just then, chickadee, little tiny chickadee, about this big. And he walked up, and he walked up proudly. He stood up on his tippy toes. He went from this big to this big. And he says, "I will go and get these songs." And all the bigger birds, eagle, seagull, albatross, hawk, owl, they said, "Ha ha! You cannot go up and get these songs, chickadee. You are too small. You are too weak." And this hurt his feelings. But didn't stop him. He was still on his tippy toes. He said, "No, I will get these songs." And they just laughed it off. So all the birds, they were talking, who's going to go up and get these songs? Just then, Raven said, "Enough talk, I'm going to go over and get these songs." He went to the side of the mountain before anybody could say anything. He bent his little raven kneecaps. And he counted. Cool, kupo, kuli, hoo. Took off straight up. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Higher and higher he went. He flapped his wings for an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours. He has been flying straight up. All the birds are watching with their bird binoculars, saying, "Look how far Raven is." And he's flapping his wings. He's getting closer and closer. 4 hours have now gone by. And Raven's wings, they started getting so heavy. Felt like 100 pounds. But he must go on. And he pushed his wings too far. And they stopped flapping. And he started to fall toward the earth. And he said, "Watch out! I'm coming in hot! Watch out!" Boom! Hit the earth. Big cloud of dust. Couldn't even see Raven. He popped his head out. He had a big branch on his head. And he says, "I can't get those songs. They're too far. We will never, ever get them." Just then, Hawk, he says, "You may not be able to get them. I will get them. You need speed." He moved aside not fast as he can. He opened up his wings. It was like one of those kung fu movies. And he bent his little hawk kneecaps. And he counted to 3. Cool, Gooba, Kuli. Straight up. Faster than a speeding bullet. Looking like Superman. Higher and higher and higher he went. 4 hours have now gone by. Hawk is going straight up. His eyes focused on the box of songs. He's thinking to himself, "I'm going to be the one to bring the songs back. Everybody will love Hawk." And he's flapping his wings harder and harder, faster and faster. 5 hours. Straight up. He gets farther than Raven. But his wings started to get so tired. heavy, 100 pounds. And every time he lifted up his wings, they got heavier and heavier until they stopped working. And he started to fall toward the earth. Ah, watch out! Boom! Hit the earth. Big cloud of dust. He popped his head out. He had 2 branches looking like a moose. And he said, we will never get those songs. They are too far. Just then, Eagle, he says, enough is enough. I should have done this to begin with. Sometimes you gotta do things yourself. He was really strutting. He opened up his giant wingspan. Said, stand aside, stand aside. He went to the side of the mountain. And he said, cool. And all the birds were watching. Like, this is it. This is it. They were on the edge of their seat. Little Chickadee was on the edge of his seat, just ready to freak out. Like, I want to go. He said, cool. And Chickadee snapped. He jumped on Eagle's back without Eagle knowing. Quickly, whoo, higher and higher with such force. Eagle would each flap of his wings. Whoo, 50 feet. Whoo, 100 feet. Whoo, 150 feet. And Chickadee was hanging on with dear life. His face was getting pushed down. Whoo, whoo. And he was so scared he was trying to scream, but nothing was coming out. And he was just screaming like this. Higher and higher he went. Whoo, whoo. Eagle has now flapped his wings for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. The sun is now starting to set. And Eagle's wings start to get oh so tired. Just like ravens, just like hawks. But he had to push on, and he had to flap his wings, because he could see the box of songs closer and closer with each flap. But his wings, just like ravens, started to give out. His wings, just like hawk, started to give out until his wings stopped moving. Just then, Chickadee jumped off Eagle's back. He felt so relieved to stop screaming. He was screaming for the last 6 hours. And he jumped on his face and he kicked off, sending Eagle down to earth even farther. Ah! Boom! Hit the ground. Big cloud of dust. Eagle popped his head out. His face was all muddy, looking like Rambo. He says, we can't get those songs. They are too far. Those songs up there. And they looked, and you know what they sing? Who they sing? They sing Chickadee. Flapping as hard as he can. His little tiny wings. But he was flapping as hard as he can. Everything he can. He was flapping. And a little gust of wind would push him this way. A little gust of wind would push him this way. But he didn't care. He gave it his all. He was giving it everything he can. Beads of sweat were coming down his forehead, but he didn't care. Until Chickadee reached the box of song. He held it above his head. Dun, da, da. And he put it under his arm and started flapping back down to the earth. He landed amongst all the birds. And he had the box of songs. And all the birds were staring at him. And it was quiet just like this. Except all the birds' beaks dropped. Because they couldn't believe little Chickadee had a box of songs. Even Chickadee couldn't believe he had a song. Even his beak dropped. So they're staring at each other. All their beaks are dropped. Until finally Eagle says, Chickadee, give me the songs. Give them to me. Owl says, yes, give those songs to me. Albatross said, those songs, give those songs to us. And you know what Chickadee said? You all need to learn something. When I said I wanted to go up and get those songs, you said I wasn't strong enough. He started to flex. He said, when I said I wanted to go up and get those songs, you said I was too small. Look down on the tippy toes. You said I was different. But I didn't let what any of you say to me stop me. I believed in myself. Now look at the box of songs. He goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'll teach you all a lesson. To let you know that it is wrong to talk down on someone. I'm going to take the most beautiful songs of this world. He's getting ready to open it. When I open this box and I have my hand up, I want everybody to say, 3, 2, 1. It was the most beautiful thing ever. Rainbows were coming out, sparkles, musical notes. It was magical. And he said, I'm going to take the most beautiful songs of this world and I'm going to give them to the most smallest birds of this world. He went to Sparrow, the most beautiful song. He went to Chickadee, the most beautiful song. He went to Robin. He gave all the most beautiful songs of this world to the smallest birds. To remind us, when we hear those beautiful songs being sung in the forest, they're not coming from eagle. They're not coming from owl, raven, albatross, or pigeon. They're coming from the smallest birds of this world. To remind us, no matter what anybody says, you stand tall on your tippy toes. And you give it your all. And I'm very fortunate to live next to a forest. And I hear those beautiful songs being sung. And that's a reminder for me as well. No matter what anybody says, I give it my all. So next time you all hear beautiful songs being sung in the forest, remember they're coming from the smallest birds to remind you to believe in yourself, no matter what anybody says. The next time you hear the songs, you tell the person next to you, I give you permission. Let me tell you a Lucian story. Chickadee. And tell the story. But do it better than I could ever do it. Get even more animated.